A new aircraft makes its way to the Palouse.
A new business in Pullman is heating up.
And the Cougs look for a homecoming win. Tonight, those stories and more as complete coverage of your local news starts right now. Good evening, I'm Valerie Hernandez.
And I'm Crenshaw. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Residents around the Quad Cities will now have access to a new, more fuel-efficient emergency aircraft. A MedStar crew flew one of the company's 3 fixed-wing aircraft to Pullman Regional Airport on Wednesday to show representatives from Gritman Medical Center and the Pullman Fire Department their new equipment. MedStar is a nonprofit agency that made about 3,500 flight trips in helicopters and planes to the Quad Cities in 2009. 16% of those flights were to the Palouse. The new single-engine airplane replaced an older King Air 200, which used about 40% more fuel and required a longer airship to land.
The career fair this week offered students the opportunity to explore the marketplace and hear from recruiters about different jobs that are available. Cable 8 reporter Jacqueline Dowling has more. Thanks, Jacqueline. Washington State crime labs face a 10% shortfall in next year's budget. This is on top of the 6% cut made by lawmakers this year. If the proposed budget cuts go through, it would mean drug testing will not be done, making prosecutors' jobs even more difficult. Drug testing is often key to a prosecutor's case. If a person is pulled over for speeding and a trooper finds a small bag of cocaine or crack inside the car, they send it to the lab for definitive proof. A prosecutor says without the testing, it does not leave very many options.
The Washington Small Business Development Center will receive nearly $1 million over the next 2 years to boost WSU's small business centers. The Small Business Jobs Bill signed into law by President Obama will enhance technical staffing at centers operated across the state. National statistics show small businesses that receive in-depth assistance experience much higher rates of job growth and higher sales growth than businesses not receiving such services.
A new pizza place on campus has found big success and gained huge popularity with WSU students. Cable 8 reporter Braulio Perez has more on the story.
Summer, Domino's.
A domestic violence case occurring late last night results in an arrest. Pullman Police Commander Chris Tennant says officers arrested Tyson LeMay on several misdemeanor charges and a felony charge. Tennant says LeMay arrived at his girlfriend's apartment on B Street and entered without her permission. Tennant says LeMay choked the victim and refused to allow her to contact police. Tennant says LeMay was arrested without incident. LeMay is charged with 4 different misdemeanors and residential burglary, which is a felony charge.
New information leads to $1 million bail for a Wenatchee man accused of murder. Authorities arrested Christopher Wilson Wednesday afternoon for the murder of a teenager last February. According to court documents, authorities served a search warrant in Wilson's home after DNA tests linked him to a bloody piece of duct tape found near the victim's body. Inside, they found at least 2 blood splatters in the stairwell. The documents do not specify whose blood was found. Authorities are still investigating the case and interviewing more people.
Will the recent rain drench the homecoming crowd in Martin Stadium tomorrow? I'm Tom Rohrer, and I'll have the answer plus a 5-day forecast after the break. Hi, welcome back to the studio. Let's take a look at today's forecast. Well, expect consistent cloud coverage throughout the day with a high of 63 and winds coming from the southwest. Looking at tonight's weather, expect the temperatures to drop significantly with the conditions remaining the same, a low of 44 and the winds coming this time from the east. Now taking a look at the Cougar football Saturday forecast for tomorrow, we will find out if ducks truly can swim in a pond, as showers are expected throughout the day. High of 58 with a low of 45 and the winds again coming from the southwest. Now let's take a look at across the state map. Consistent conditions on the eastern side of the state with temperatures in the high 60s to low 70s in Yakima, Wenatchee, Spokane, and Pullman. On the western side of the state, rain consistent all the way down to Vancouver, up to Seattle, Olympia with a high of 63, rain again, and a low of 56. Now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Following this weekend, expect showers to discontinue and sunny weather to return, as the temperatures will be in the 60s throughout the week. However, the overnight lows will be lower as temperatures continue to drop with the fall weather starting to pick up. The lows will be around 34, 39, 42, and 38. That's it for the forecast, and I'll take it back to the desk.
Thanks, Tom. In other weather-related news, a funnel cloud was spotted Thursday in Lewis County. The National Weather Service issued a tornado warning shortly after 4:45 for the county. An Idaho County Sheriff's deputy spotted the cloud after 5 p.m. Sergeant Jerry Johnson says the funnel cloud touched the ground. A local law enforcement official reported another tornado between Nez Perce and Craigmont. Local residents say it felt like a very strong windstorm. No damage has been reported. Thanks, Valerie. More people are coming forward claiming they have been ripped off in a Craigslist rental con. Now the lease on the property in question is leading back to a Spokane man with a history of fraud. Some claim the man used the name Jeff with various last names. His ex-wife and the real owner of the property says the man's name is Jeffrey Crutchfield. 5 families have come forward to claim they've been taken by this Craigslist con. They paid the deposits, then showed up to move in only to realize the man who rented them the house was not the actual owner.
The 3 missing Spokane children have been located in Butte, Montana, and they are all safe. Chad Phillips and his 3 sons were located yesterday at a hotel in Montana. Now the Montana State Department of Family Services will be taking protective custody of the children. They will remain in their custody until they complete their investigation into custodial matters. Then the children will be turned over to the Spokane CPS to complete their investigation into the custodial matters. Spokane police are seeking an arrest warrant for custodial interference.
A Post Falls, Idaho babysitter will likely face charges. The babysitter admitted to Post Falls police that she pushed 3-year-old Cohen Johnson across the room. Police Detective Dave Beck says the sitter shoved Cohen after the boy urinated on her and the couch. She says she heard a crack when the boy's head hit the floor and called police after Cohen was unresponsive. Police say Cohen is now suffering from severe head trauma and is on life support. Family members remain by his side in the hospital. Charges are pending.
A North Idaho man accused of breaking a 2-year-old's leg is expected in court today. Detectives became suspicious when Michael R. Edinger and his fiancee took their son to Katani Medical Center for a broken leg. Edinger originally blamed the injury of the boy on falling down the stairs. Edinger later admitted to police he was responsible. He says he lost his temper while changing the child's diaper and forcefully grabbed his leg, twisted it, slammed it on the floor, ultimately snapping it. Edinger faces 2 counts of cruelty to children.
The start of a prominent campus event has students in Pullman chanting "Duck, Duck, Lose." Cable 8 reporter Courtney Ramsey has more on the story.